And in the write-up, you say the union pleads with this honorable committee to ensure that IPCU works with SRC, MOE, and National Treasury to present a reasonable offer. A reasonable offer. But on 28, on item number 28, you go opposite and you say that you want this 7.9 million paid at once. Is that the reasonable offer that you talked about in 27? Because I see the CS Treasury has actually offered a reasonable offer. In the sense that the write-up, there was an indication of 3 installments. He's now talking of 2 installments. One in this supplementary and the other one in July, if I got it right. So how reasonable is the offer you're talking about? Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I want us to be brief like that, honorable member for again, but not.
Chair, we have 3 glaring phenomena. One, we have the 7.9 billion, the amount the unions are demanding. We have the 2025-2029 CBA. 3, we have the students out of their learning institutions. Now, on the case of 7.9 billion, we have heard about counter offers and this, what the unions demand and what the ministry is saying it is able to pay. Now, my question is, if that amount is paid as the ministry is trying to imply, what is the position of the union on 2025-2029 CBA? Are these 2 issues intertwined, or we are handling them separately?
This to ASU. However, you need to note, members, the petition was on 2 main issues: CBA 2017-2021, and the need to negotiate CBA 2025-2029. So those are the issues they placed before us. And I wanted to say that somehow the CS, in its global approach, had indicated the far they have gone. And in the IPCCUF, they went on to give a narration of the various meetings and the offers they have done, which to me, it is something that is on the process. And I think the unions, what is very, very key for the unions is the implementation of 2017-2021. And now they move on to negotiate and wind up the 25-29. Is it? So I think you'll answer that. Let's move on. Member for Siaya.
Thank you, Chair.
We'll come to you. Yes.
Thank you, Chair. The CS education, in your presentation, I touched some statement that you never factored this CBA agreement in the budget. And I really found that very unfortunate. Why didn't you do that? Because it is a responsibility. We wouldn't have reached here and talk about this if you had factored that in the budget so that you cleared the backlog. Why didn't you put this in the budget, according to what you've just said?
Yes, Member for Nyamira.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, according to the presentation, it has just come out very clearly that the CPA, which has delayed for 6 years, has come out as a result of SRC. And SRC had given information, maybe they did it intentionally, or they might have done it without knowing. As a ministry, when you listen to how the public is talking, all the blames are on you. What is your take to SRC? Chair, when we look at the 2025-2029 CPA bargain, they have only started by giving only %. And when you look at departments, others have been offered as much as 29%. Why is that big disparity? Given that the universities have been crying, and still they have started at very low percentages. Maybe we may want to understand. And that one should be given from SRC. If you are there, or SRC give us the answer.
And I want to guide members because the issue of CBA 2025-2029 is yet to be adequately discussed and arrived at. The issues are proposals and counter proposals. Let's try not to engage into it because it is not part of our discussion, is it? So that we'll allow the parties that are concerned to weigh in into the issues and then they will discuss it. If there is a dispute, then we can come in, is it? So I want us to really try to constrain on it. What we'll do as an advice is fast track it, talk on it, and make sure so that it doesn't become an issue of dispute. Is that okay? That's it. Let's proceed. Oh, a member for Baringo North, yes?
Thank you, Chairman, for that last clarification. I think that is what is required so that we fix the animal in the room. Chair, since you, the Minister for Education has already said they are with SRC when making a presentation. If SRC was here, I would have asked them, how did you arrive at 624? Because, Chair, the person that has confused everybody
It's SRC.
up to where we are today is an animal called SRC, and they are actually being a cause of confusion for many years. I can see the unions, the Minister for National Treasury and Education. The truth has been laid bare, and all of them agreed with this truth. It's only one thing, that if God in heaven could allow these people to enter into a room and come out to say hallelujah, that this trial will end today.
What is your question?
Chairman, I'm saying because I am a parent, I have children at home.
And
So
then it is not about
I'm saying
God.
I'm praying.
Yes, you are praying.
God in heaven, that these people can enter a room and come up with hallelujah. Chairman, how was there legal fees or litigation fees are growing from all these scenarios that at the end of the day, government will again ask National Treasury to pay for litigation measures, because you can see from the word of the Attorney General is to avoid further litigation. Please implement. Are there litigation fees are growing from all these costs of SRC?
Yes,
Chair, thank you very much. I think there's a big lesson that we can learn from this whole process at the end of the day. And Chair, let me say this meeting is a very healthy meeting from the word go, where both parties, all the parties that are here before us, have put forward their, and I can see a lot of convergence in what they have presented. The only parting point is where perhaps how do we go forward with the remaining balance. Chair, I'm a pastoralist, and in my society we say 2 moons can't appear on the same night, but 2 truths can appear at the same time. So I'm looking at 2 truths which have appeared at the same time here. And what I'm suggesting, Chair, is that if you look at the whole scenario,
I actually dissuaded you from giving your opinions now.
I'm not giving opinion, Chair.
Yes.
I'm just.
I want you to ask the question. If you don't have, we move the next one.
Chair, I have the question,
Yes.
and I will ask it. We have students who are languishing out, they're really suffering. We have parents who are agonizing. We have the staff of the university who have also suffered. My suggestion is, we in a process like this, we need to have a give and take situation. The unions have said they want their amounts to be paid in one go, and the government has proposed a phased, initially 3 phases, now two phases. And because of that spirit of give and take, despite the sufferings that has happened, We just need to be guarantees that the remaining balances will be paid according to the agreements that have been done. But I support the offer that has been given by the government. Only that I will suggest, given that this has caused a lot of acrimony, instead of 50-50, the first phase should be 60% and the second phase should be 40%.
Honorable Haro is a peacemaker, and he's a guy who wants to promote. In his earlier life, he participated a lot. We don't know about seconding. It's not about seconding. He used to promote togetherness among pastoralists and people living in those arid and semi-arid areas. So we're constantly in dispute over scarce resources, water, and the rest. So we've had you, but the offer has been offered. Yes. And I want to ask members, Honorable Haro didn't ask the question. He went on to give an opinion. If you are going to give an opinion, we are not going to allow you to make a presentation. I want straight to the question. Professor, proceed.
Thank you, Chair. It is unfortunate that we are discussing about the formula of disbursement by institutions of higher status. It's very embarrassing. My question is, why does the ministry always rush to court whenever there is a dispute? Especially when going to court is a constitutional right. But when one court has made a decision, why rush to go and appeal the same decision when when it is very clear that there is a problem? In that case, you are destroying the spirit of goodwill, because like now, how will the unions trust the ministry on the 2025-29 CBA? Because it will also be another situation.
Members, let me guide. I want to once again guide you, members. I want you to ask the question. And then two, because the CBA of 2025-2029 has not been discussed, I would request that let it be in abeyance.
Chair, my question was, why did the ministry...
Order, honorable member. Two, the issue of appealing and going to court is a right of every citizen and institution in this country. And if you are not satisfied, you have a right to appeal, or you have a right to go up to the Supreme Court. So it is not an issue of dispute. What I want to ask is, you go straight away and ask the three people who made the presentation, the unions, the ministry, and the IPCC, any question that you have.
Chair, I qualified the statement at the beginning, and I said, why is it that they run to the... I said it's a constitutional right. But even in situations where you can sit and agree, why rush to the court? Because that way it will lose trust. People will start losing trust and it becomes problematic. My question is, all said and done, what happens to the students who are admitted in September? They have been in campus all this time. They have paid rent. Parents have paid school fees. What will happen after, if we in the end we come up with a solution? What happens to the students in our universities?
That is a question to IPCCUF. You are the people in charge of students, is it? So make sure you tell us, how are you going to cover the lost time? And how will you make sure that the parents and everybody else are going to make up? There's a member for Honorable Cairo.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, my first issue goes to IPUCCF. In their closing remarks, they asked that this committee asks UASU to respect the court order. I would like to ask, how come they will want UASU to respect a court order, yet themselves and the ministry seems to disregard and to disrespect the court orders? Closest in example is the ruling on 10th of April. AG wrote to the ministry asking that you order whatever has been settled by the courts and which was rightfully the dues of the lecturers. Why would you want others to respect what you don't respect? Secondly, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Chair, while UASU may have asked for a reasonable settlement, Honorable Chair, what we are dealing with here is more of a debt. This is a debt. And if it is a debt,
It's a pending bill, yes.
it's a pending bill, it's a debt, whichever name you want to give it. If we look at the PFM Act and the Constitution, a debt should therefore take precedence in all our planning. Why do we want to move into installments, yet this is a debt? This is not money the dons are going to work for and the staff. This is money they already work for. So when they're asking for a reasonable, I find 50-50 to be totally unreasonable because it is a debt. Why can't the CS Treasury just treat this as a debt? We be done with once and for all. What is the challenge? And if it is to be reasonable and saying you are ceding ground, honestly, a 50-50 is not it. Can't you do an 80-20?
Yes, that's the National Treasury, and he had given his input. Now we'll start with Wasu. No, we'll start with the CS education. He has made CS education and then CS National Treasury. And then they have a meeting at 1:30 for the World Bank. I don't know, because you are the key people. I don't want you actually to leave here. I want you to finish it very fast. We still have 10 minutes. I start with the CS education and then we come treasury. Treasury, you can start with treasury and then we go to education, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Actually, this is from the CS National Treasury, yes.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. Chair, since I don't think I have much to address, I should start first and then follow off. My colleague here will represent the government. First, the question on how would the union trust the government. I want to affirm again that we have demonstrated, based on our agreement last year, that we can be trusted. And I want to commit here that what we have offered, we will respect, however difficult it is. We are operating in a difficult environment, but we will make sure that we try to rearrange the budget and get some money to
So
make
that
payments.
because we are on record, and I want to thank you because you are once a ranking member in this house. If you say 50-50, how much? You pronounce yourself, the figure.
It's the total, the figure is half of 7.76 billion, which is 3.85, I guess, billion. So we had offered to pay 2.16. Now the balance we have already committed that we will add to the 2.16 to make it 50% of the outstanding amount. Yes. This financial year.
This
And again,
financial year.
the next financial year, we will factor in the remaining amount. As to whether it's pending bills, it's well debatable. Pending bills, and you need to know to what point bill becomes a pending bill. If you use accrual accounting or cash basis, if it is cash basis, it falls now. So we start treating it as a bill as at now when we agree. So if you use accrual accounting, then it is when it was incurred. But again, it is all about the ability to pay. I want to be very clear. If we didn't have the fiscal challenges, there was no reason why we would have a dispute on how to pay amounts that we have already acknowledged as a government. I think that would be dishonest on the part of the government. The government has now acknowledged that we owe 7.76 billion to our university staff, and that we must pay. We are just pleading with the unions to understand that our fiscal space is limited, and we are facing serious challenges. Yeah, we don't just have time. If I could go into the details, you'd see the position. Finally, I think a comment was made about whether we are fairly treating university staff compared to others, whether there is equity, that we have offered about 29% to some category of public servants. I don't think that is accurate. Actually, from the information I have on the agreement with teachers, it was 12% on average for a period of 4 years. So I want to just be clear that we treat all our public servants the same. And we cannot underrate the contribution that higher education or higher learning plays. And Chairman, it may interest you to note that my first employer was actually university. I would today probably be sitting either here representing the university staff or somewhere watching the outcome of these deliberations with bated breath that the government honors and pays in full the amount outstanding, which is 7.76. And therefore, I can note for even a minute. In fact, one of my longest employers was a university, 8 years, only second to the National Assembly. So I respect the university staff and the contribution they're making to our economy, but I want to plead with them. And many of them are my friends. In fact, Professor here knows what we went through last year to agree on what to do with the CBA that we agreed on last year. And I think I played a good boy to date. I don't think you have any concern. Mr. Mukwaya here, we have been with him in many places. We have reformed many things with him and is continuing to reform the country. So I wouldn't really have any issue. I'm just pleading that our fiscal space and fiscal framework is really, really limited at the moment. Thank you, Chair. And I submit again, 50-50 is agreeable to the National Treasury.
Chair,
other members. I'll want you to interject once and then you leave.
Start with me.
Let's start with him. Yes.
Chairman, I want to find out from the CS National Treasury, if you split that money in terms of that which belongs to pension and that which belongs to salaries and so on, what is the difference? How much is the one going to salaries and what is going to pension? It provides guidance on this.
On the 3.85, that's okay. Yes, we'll allow that interjection before he leaves. Yes.
I would like to ask the CS. If you promise me a salary increment in a CBA, we know how we all operate. Some go for loans based on that. Chair, this is money already owed. And to be fair, there is no interest charged. We're just asking the CS, you can squeeze somewhere. This is a mess in State Department of Higher Education. You've never had us call you here for basic. Can you just squeeze and give them more? It's a debt. Let it not be 50-50. It's very unfair. It's inhumane. We understand the physical space is constrained.
Chair.
But we need to be considerate that people took loans and people are being auctioned just because of this.
Yes, members, I want you to know, and I think this is out of experience, you don't take a loan out of CBA. You take a loan on the actuals, what you have gotten. So on this particular case, yes, the case is very important. It is very true. But the issue the CS has put it across to us is subject to our discussion. Maybe now the CS National Treasury and CS Education. What the members are just saying is actually a plea on a higher, you give a higher payment, maybe 60-40 or 80, something like that. That one is something that we are putting to your desk. But what they have done, if they have actually it was three installments. Now they have come to 2. They have made a movement. We'll hear from Wazo and to listen from them if that is satisfactory. They are not even part of their bargain.
Chair.
Do I release the CS because he's being waited?
No, let the union speak.
I want him to respond to it and then we release him.
No, let the union say something.
Order members. You are not. It is the chair who is giving direction. CS respond to it. And then we...
Chair, I want to just respond that about 20% of this amount outstanding was pension. as at now, this remaining 7.7 billion, we have about 1.55 billion, which should constitute pension. The rest is salary. And yeah, I think that is the first question that you asked. I want to, my friend Gisario, I just wanted to also mention, remember, and I'm chair, I know I'm probably violating standing orders, but just allow me to mention it. If there will be agreement on 2025-29,
no, you can't. We will not allow you to go against
CBA,
orders.
CBA, I'm not really going against.
Yes.
I'm just indicating that that will,
you don't
again,
anticipate debate.
Some intervention from the National Treasury. And so we must balance off this against the money that we have. By the way, sometimes it is easier to imagine that there's some money somewhere at the Treasury that can easily be pulled. It's not there. In fact, Mheshimiwa, you were talking about interest. There was no money that we put somewhere to give us interest. We are just collecting money and paying. If they charged us interest, that would have been even more disaster for us. I'm actually pleading that that thought is not passed to them. They don't consider that at all. Thank you, Chairman. And if you allow me.
Yes, I'll release you, CS. I want to release you because we are constrained on an appointment, but I want to thank you because in the last CBA, you honored it fully. I hope you will be able, CS, you will be able to honor what you have told us. Thank you so much.
Oh, also say something.
Thank you. I want now to, we now want to give also the ministry to respond. Then we come. Or you want to respond to the issues raised? Yes.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. We are aware of the offer by the government of 50-50. When this offer was made to us, I convened organs of the union, that is NEC and NDC. And they objected to this offer by voting overwhelmingly for no, because of the following reasons. One, there are members who have retired since 2017, 2021. They are at home. They need their pension. Two, if we push this 50% to 2026, 2027 financial year, already there are commitments, and the Ministry of Education is going to be constrained. We have 2.37 billion for 2021, 2025. That is supposed to mature on 1st July. 2.73 billion.
2.73 billion to mature in 2025,
2026, 2027 financial year.
2026, 2027 financial year. Yes. That's
the next, there are commitments we made with the IPCCF that mortgage, car loan and mortgage was supposed to be factored in the sector budget for 2026, 2027 financial year. The next, we have not arrived. It can even be 10 billion because it is car loan and mortgage for all university staff. So it is not possible that you move 2017.
Order SG. This is not about talking things which are not. It is a house of records.
We agree.
We agree. Have you agreed
that we are going to sit down and agree on the budget for car loan and mortgage, and it's supposed to be factored in 2026, 2027 Ministry of Education sector budget.
So you have not agreed on?
We have not agreed on the figure.
So you should not be part of the agreement of 26, 27?
So that is what we are saying. They made commitments. They also made commitments that in 2026, 2027 financial year, we were going to factor for all university staff. Promotion, we have not agreed on the figure. So what we are saying, with those commitments, we don't want to clog the financial year of 2026, 2027 with promises again. And the next thing, Honorable Member, when I talked about reasonable offer,
Honorable Maungu.
Honorable Maungu,
yes.
when I talked about reasonable offer, I didn't mean that this 7.9 billion was to be put in phases. What I meant there is the reasonable offer for 2025, 2029, because currently they are giving us 2%. So we said we need a reasonable offer for 2025, 2029 CBA, not that to be split. Organs of the union have rejected the 50-50. And I don't want to promise the Honorable House that they are going to accept. They voted against it.
That is you have answered your questions. And I also want, the reason why I was asking you to give us the figures of the car loan, the promotion money, and the rest is also to allow this house to think through. But now, because you have not offered, we know what is only outstanding in 2026, 2027 is the 2.73 billion. That is the only thing which is outstanding for them. These others are wish list, is it? Which we are here to discuss. No, I'm just giving, that's a direction, because if you have committed, it should actually be factual. And then we should have a figure. Yes, let's have the ministry and then the universities to answer. I think you are one. Yes.
Thank you, Chair. Honorable Maungu's question on the 624 million vis-a-vis the other amounts. SRC is mandated to give advice to government constitutionally on issues relating to salaries, etc. The figure of 624 million was given by them on the basis that out of the 7.9 billion which the unions were demanding, an amount of 7.2 billion had been paid between 2017 and 2021 during the normal annual increment by each university to their members. So it became difficult for the ministry, for example, to go to Treasury and ask for 624 or 7.9 for it was agreed. Because if, for example, the ministry had committed to pay 7.9 billion, when there is a letter by SRC saying the outstanding amount is 624, it is an automatic query, audit query. So we needed to work towards agreeing that the figure outstanding is X. And that's why the verification teams, together with SRC, had to meet until SRC in October then confirmed that now the outstanding amount is 7.9. That's when our hands were unlocked for us now to move to the next stage of how much do we need to pay. Tying that to the ages, sorry.
What's the issue? I want to believe that the CS is taking us for a ride. Because
you are out of order, Honorable Taitumu.
Not out of order.
You are out of order completely. This is we operate.